Thank you. It's a pleasure to be with you today. Usually when I address an audience like this, I try to do something a little bit different. I usually try and sneak into the room ahead of time, and I put a little piece of paper under every chair, and I ask everybody to pull up the chair and read it. And if I did that today, it would be the entire session. It would take too much time. But essentially, those papers would be the names of US bases. And as we have said before, you know, there are over 800 US bases around the world, and at least 300 named bases surrounding China, probably close to 400. That is to say, every single chair in this room, every single person, if you will indulge the analogy, if you were a base, you would be surrounding this group. Imagine this group is China, then you would be surrounding completely, it would be completely surrounded with bases. So then the next question becomes, how did China put its bases, put its country so close to our bases? And that, in essence, is the core of the issue. Why is the United States encircling China with bases? The answer is very simple. It is preparing for war. And it's not a hypothetical. It's very real. It's very concrete. The plans are very, very advanced. The US has named dates. Admiral Minahan said 2025. Admiral Davidson said 2027. But the question is not if, but when. And how. How has been planned out at least since 2009. Does anybody know air-land battle? Okay. Air-land battle was the doctrine of war against the Soviet Union. Most of you don't know that term unless you were in the military, but you probably know the term shock and awe. Shock and awe is the colloquial term for air-land battle. Starting 2009, the United States prepared a doctrine of war against China called air-sea battle. It's the counterpart of air-land battle, designed to destroy, take down China. These plans have been advanced for now 15 years. Where does air-land battle come from? It comes from Israeli war doctrine. It comes from the Yom Kippur War. Essentially the idea that you go in and you attack civilian centers massively right away. Egypt, Syria, you bomb the shit out of them. That's where that comes from. So the US has been preparing for war for 15 years now, and it's very, very advanced. And we know it's very, very advanced because there's a three-stage process that you can see anytime the US goes to war. The first is information warfare. It's the subkinetic, prekinetic dimension of war. That is to say, first you manufacture consent, you demonize the other, and also you shut down any resistance, any criticism of the war. It's like before the infantry goes in, you create a no-fly zone, but before war starts, you create a no-think zone. No critical thinking, no resistance. You see that already. The New York Times has gone after Code Pink and other organizations. Some of you may belong to them. And they have said that these people who want peace are agents of China. So we have that information war is already far advanced. The second thing the US does is it shapes the environment for war. Always does that. Before it went into Iraq, starved and tortured Iraq for 10 years until it was a broken state. And then it went in and bombed the shit out of it. Same thing right now. We see the shaping of the environment. What does that look like? Creating military alliances. AUKUS, JACUS, JAFUS, NATO Plus, Quad, military exercises non-stop in Korea alone. 200 days of military exercises in the past year, with 20 nuclear strategic bombing rehearsals. You also see the pre-positioning of materiel and troops. So they're loading up the entire first island chain with missiles and agile, deployable island hopping troops. There are troops on Jinmen Island. It's one of the islands that belongs to Taiwan province. Jinmen Island is 2 miles from the Chinese mainland. You could do a lazy backstroke and still reach China and not be tired. It's that close. They're literally saying to China, you are not even going to get out of the end zone. The tripwire is right up against your nose. You're not even going to get the ball into the court. This is how in your face the US is. And so you have all of these preparations, the shaping of the environment. You have Link 16, which is the tactical data network that connects all the foreign forces, the US forces, with every other US ally, and prepares them for war so that they have a common tactical operational picture. And the US refers to this as a transnational kill chain. That is what is being prepared. And then the last thing is the constant provocation. I don't have to tell you what those provocations are, but they're constant and non-stop, because they want to provoke a war so that they can wrong foot and then everybody can pile on. So we are very, very, very close to war. What can we do about it? First thing to understand that there are key domains of war that are battle domains. One of them is space, the second is cyberspace, the third is your own mind. Your mind is a domain of war. The mental space is one of the domains that is currently being colonized and occupied and silenced. And our job is to resist that and to make sure that they don't have that narrative dominance so that they can enable war. And then the last thing is for us to understand that this is an incredible moment in history. It's a moment where centuries of imperialism is on the verge of shifting. For centuries, we've been told that up is down, right is wrong, day is night, exploitation is freedom, war is peace, genocide is non-existent, and development is genocide. All of those things, those lies that we've been told, right now those lies are being unmasked. And we have a foundational opportunity to shift everything and to really build out a just and peaceful and dignified world for all of humanity. Thank you.